What's good, y'all? What's the numbers TV? It's your boy Poro. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And like a video if you appreciate the content that Poro and What's the Numbers I provided. Today we back with the profile piece. But before we get into that, I want to tell you about my guy Skyhigh23, man. You guys can find him on YouTube. He just started his page. He got exclusive content up there ready related to the cannabis, marijuana industry. And, you know, he's giving game, basically. Different things, how to prevent damage, how to prevent theft, how to package your situation, things like that. So if that, you know, marijuana, cannabis industry, one of the biggest growing industries all over the world. So if you into that type of content, you know what I'm saying, that's something that you might be interested in, or you want to just go check it out just to see what he's talking about, make sure you go subscribe to Skyhigh23. Let him know What's the Numbers TV and Poro sent you. You understand what I'm saying? I'm subscribed over there ready, waiting for the next video. I checked out all 3 videos already. Hit the like button and show some love. And let them know that Poro and What's the Numbers TV sent you. If you got any love for Poro and Betty Bills, make sure you head over there at Skyhigh23 and go check his content out. Go see if it's something that you're interested in. This one is on Larry Davis. In this video, we're going to talk about his childhood growing up in the Bronx, New York. Then we will speak about his recruitment by dirty cops to sell drugs for them, which eventually led to a big shootout and a lengthy jail sentence for Larry when things hit the fan. And lastly, we will speak about Larry's time in jail, where he would have to frequently fight with guards and other inmates to survive. Larry Davis is from the Bronx, New York, and was raised by his mother and father until his father moved out when he was about 10. After that, Larry's mother began to struggle financially while raising her kids alone and ended up becoming increasingly devoted into the church. Living in that area of the Bronx during the 80s was rough, as Larry had to do a lot of different things in the streets from an early age to make ends meet. By 14 years old, he would drop out of school as a semi-illiterate to focus on selling drugs. Larry also liked to fix cars and motorcycles, although his real dream was to be a rapper, as he was musically inclined and played multiple instruments as a youth. Once crack hit the streets of the Bronx in the early 80s, kids in the area began selling a new drug of choice to the junkies in their neighborhood. According to some reports, dirty cops were being paid to patrol and protect the community, seeing this new drug as an opportunity for them to make some extra money, and eventually started to recruit kids from the area to sell the drugs for them. Whenever the dirty cops made a bust, they would give any drugs that they found to the kids to sell them, then they would split the profits. Larry would be approached by these cops after he was busted riding a motorcycle without a license, and instead of issuing a summons, the officer had stopped him, offered him a chance to sell and transport cocaine to be turned into crack. Larry said he refused at first, but eventually agreed and became a part of the group of kids that worked for the police. Larry started making big money dealing crack and decided to get back to trying to make it as a rapper in the music industry. Always feeling a burning need to be known and recognized further than his neighborhood, Larry was a little upset that his plans to be a rap star were taking longer than expected. And by 1984, he was trying to figure out what was next for him, as he already had multiple arrests on his record for different drug and gun charges, although he never served more than 24 days in jail. In July of 1986, Larry's daughter was born, which would be his only child. Some people close to Larry at the time say he started to change a bit after her birth, as he envisioned and wanted something better than the South Bronx for his offspring. From the summer of '86 to the fall of the same year, Larry would do some heavy thinking and started to second guess his drug dealing activities. Unfortunately, his new thought process didn't sit too well with the alleged dirty cops he was supposedly working for at the time, and a plan to take him down and shut him up would be set into motion. On October 30th, 1986, 4 suspected drug dealers were shot to death at a brick-faced apartment building on Southern Boulevard in the Bronx. Larry Davis became the main suspect in the slayings and had the police hot on his trail. During this time, he would bounce around from place to place, staying with various friends or at his mother's house, his girlfriend's, or his sister's house. By November 19, 1986, the police were hot on the trail of Larry Davis as their search had finally led them to his sister's house. Regina Lewis, Larry's sister, was on the phone in the front of her apartment when she saw the doorknob begin to twist. She thought it was a family member playing a prank, so she got up, went to the door, and opened it just a crack. Through the crack, she could see a bunch of police officers with shotguns and flak jackets. They questioned her and her husband for a second or two until they spotted Larry on the sofa at the same time that he spotted them. Once Larry saw the police, he instantly made his move to the back bedroom as about 13 cops rushed in, filling the tiny apartment with armed men. According to Larry's sister, none of the cops produced a badge or search warrant. From there, all hell broke loose, with different versions coming from each side. What we do know is that a wild shootout between the police and Larry Davis took place, with the end result being 6 cops being shot and Larry escaping after he jumped from a first-floor apartment window into the building's backyard and disappeared into the streets of the Bronx. For years, Larry's street-scrambling lifestyle made him a local celebrity, but now he was on top of every New York City broadcast as a wanted man, accused of shooting 6 police officers. After slipping in and out of safe houses for more than 2 weeks, Larry Davis was finally cornered at the Twin Parks West projects in the Fordham section of the Bronx on December 5, 1986. After more than 6 hours of tense negotiations between Davis and the NYPD, conducted over the phone and shouted through the front door of the apartment where Davis had taken 2 families hostage, Davis surrendered without incident at 7:30 a.m. He later claimed he gave up because he was concerned for his mother's safety as well as his own. As a ring of cops led Davis down the building's wheelchair ramp, he was showered with applause and cheers, while the mayor and police commissioner patted each other on the back. Larry would end up going to trial first on the Southern Boulevard murders, where he will be found not guilty. Next will be the second trial for attempted first-degree murder of 9 police officers, aggravated assault, use of a firearm, and criminal possession of weapons. This trial would deliver even more drama than the first, and when it was all said and done, Larry was found not guilty on all of the 9 counts of attempted murder and 6 counts of aggravated assault, but he was found guilty on the 6 counts of weapons possession. Next for Larry, in December of 1989, would be another not guilty verdict in a second murder trial, followed by a third murder trial in March of 1991. Larry, who was already serving a 5 to 15 year sentence for weapons possession, will be found guilty in this trial for the murder of alleged drug dealer Raymond Vizcaino in the Bronx. Once sentenced for the murder, Larry would end up receiving another 25 years to life in jail. Now, once sentenced, Larry would serve his time in multiple upstate prisons. It should be noted that dating back to his time spent on Rikers Island, Larry was known for having multiple issues with multiple correctional officers, a trend that would follow him upstate also. Larry became more paranoid and felt like the correctional officers had a hit on him or a vendetta out for him because of his situation where he shot all those police officers back in the Bronx. Throughout the years, Larry continued to have his fair share of incidents with staff and other inmates while upstate. He received multiple citations for fighting, making threats, spitting and throwing urine through his cell. He was also known to have used a cane or wheelchair for his injuries at different times during his bid. In July 2004, Larry became an inmate at the Shawanga Correctional Facility, a maximum security prison in Ulster County. He wasn't eligible for parole until 2016, so to Larry, this latest prison was just another spot that he would have to make it through on his journey back to freedom. But freedom would never come, because in 2008, while still at Shawanga, Larry would get into an incident in the yard with a notorious New York State prisoner named Blue Boy. Blue Boy was from the Lower East Side of Manhattan and been locked up since the early 80s for murder, said in his interview that he was trying to attack another inmate with a prison shank when Larry Davis intervened. That's when Blue then turned his knife on Larry and stabbed him. Some fighting between the two would continue, and when it was all said and done, Larry would end up dying after being stabbed a total of 13 times, with the fatal blow being to his femoral artery. And just like that, the hood legend Larry Davis was dead before he could ever see the streets of the Bronx again. The former mayor and police commissioner would speak on Larry's death, even going as far as to thank Blue Boy. But yo, this is a quick profile piece on Larry Davis. You know what I'm saying? A Bronx legend. You know what I'm saying? Had to shoot out with the police. Now, to give a little more context on Blue Boy real quick, being that, I mentioned at the end of the story, Blue Boy recently came home from jail, received a warm welcome from a lot of people from his own gang, from rival gangs, different Bloods and Crips like that, showing Blue Boy, welcoming him home, showing their appreciation for all that he done, I guess, in the prison system, and, he did 39 years in jail. So, he received a warm welcome. After that, Blue Boy would go on to do different interviews on, different channels, and, he had some pushback as far as doing the interview with Vlad TV, as far as some YouTubers, small YouTubers, big YouTubers, both. They're trying to say that Blue Boy is out there glorifying the death of a Bronx legend, of a black man, things like that. Some people have came out in the defense of Blue Boy. Some people are trying to call him a racist, but this goes back to Blue Boy, dealings with Larry Davis. So like I said, there's a profile piece on Larry Davis, had to shoot out with the cops, end up beating that. They tried him for 3 different murders. Eventually, they locked him up. He did his time upstate New York. He wasn't that far away from parole. At the time he got killed, he was only 8 years away from seeing the parole board. Blue Boy ended up making parole years later, getting 10 years for killing Larry Davis on top of what he had. And, lately, like I said, Larry Davis' name is coming up a lot lately, being that Blue Boy came home, and Blue Boy is the one who killed him. So I did this profile piece to give an updated version on Larry Davis. Troy Reed and all them did pieces on Larry Davis before. So this is an updated version of the whole Larry Davis story. And, You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all like, share, subscribe. You know what I'm saying? What's the Numbers TV? We growing on 70,000 subscribers. You know what I'm saying? We over 15, 16 million views strong. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate all y'all, man. Become a member of the channel. Tap into the live streams we do at 8:30 Sunday through Thursday. Go follow the Instagram. And you know, this is another profile piece, original. What's the Numbers TV? We coming with a whole bunch more profile pieces, so stay on the lookout for these. And we back before you know it, man. Shout out my guy, Batty Bills. It's Poe Rowe. What's the Numbers TV? I'm out of here. Peace.